All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a whirlwind tour of the biggest AI stories that are hitting the headlines right now. We're talking massive investments, heated environmental debates, and maybe most importantly, how all this tech is actually changing our jobs and our lives. So, let's get into it.
First things first, you gotta follow the money. And right now, pretty much all of it is rushing in one direction. Just look at this. According to PitchBook data, over half of all venture capital money is expected to pour directly into AI startups. This isn't just a small shift, folks. It's a tidal wave that's basically squeezing out almost every other industry from getting funding. And this quote from an industry analyst just nails it. We are so past the point of AI being some weird niche sector. For investors, AI is now the main event. It's the go-to default bet for making serious money. We're talking about a fundamental rewrite of the entire global economy. Which brings us to our first section, this absolute tsunami of cash. We're talking billions upon billions of dollars being poured into building the infrastructure and the companies that will shape our future. Get this, $40 billion. That's the potential price tag for a giant like BlackRock to buy aligned data centers. And they're not buying some flashy new app. Nope. They're buying the buildings, the servers, the cooling pipes, the actual physical plumbing that makes this whole AI revolution run. And believe me, this isn't just a Silicon Valley thing. It is a full-on global gold rush. Take a look at the Chinese stock market. Tech giants like Alibaba have seen their stocks skyrocket by over 120%, driven almost entirely by AI hype and investment. It just goes to show you, the race for AI dominance is happening everywhere. But with all this power, with all this money, comes a huge tension. Because for every incredible, world-changing promise AI offers, there's often a really complex and sometimes hidden cost. So let's start with the good stuff, the promise. There's a company called Instacrops using AI to tackle one of our planet's biggest problems, water scarcity. So their platform looks at soil data, it looks at weather patterns, and it tells farmers exactly how much water their crops need, no more, no less. And the result? Farmers are cutting their water use by a staggering 30%. That's a potential lifeline for agriculture. That's an incredible win, right? But the very same infrastructure that makes these breakthroughs happen, well, it comes with a pretty big downside that nobody really talks about. You see, those massive data centers powering AI don't just use an insane amount of electricity. We're talking enough to maybe double global data center power use by 2026. They're also sources of PFAS, forever chemicals. They're used to cool down the super powerful GPUs, but they don't break down in the environment and are linked to some pretty serious health problems. It's kind of the dirty little secret of the AI boom. And this tug of war between amazing and risky is exploding in the creative world too. Take OpenAI's video generator Sora. On one hand, it's a mind-blowing tool for artists. But on the other, what happens when it can just spit out a video of a copyrighted character like Mario? It's already sparking massive lawsuits and raising huge ethical questions about where it got its training data in the first place. Okay, so let's bring all this down from the 30,000-foot view. How is AI actually affecting you, your job, and your life right now? Well, here's a surprise. As AI gets really good at doing white-collar office jobs, think coding, data entry, that sort of thing, something fascinating is happening. Enrollment in vocational schools is up 20%. Yep, young people are looking at trades like plumbing and welding and seeing a more stable future. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's such a simple, powerful reminder that for all the digital hype, there's still immense value in hands-on, skilled work that a robot just can't do. At least, not yet. And the changes don't stop at jobs. Look at education. A new school called Alpha is actually replacing human teachers with personalized AI lessons. For $40,000 a year, your kid gets a curriculum tailored just for them. Now, this could totally revolutionize learning, but it also opens up some serious questions about fairness and access for everyone else. So what about our relationships, our social lives? Well, AI is now being sold as a digital wingman, an app that helps you write the perfect text or a killer dating profile. It's promising social perfection, but you have to wonder, what's the cost? Are we losing something real, something authentic along the way? All of this is happening so incredibly fast that society is basically just scrambling to keep up, which brings us to the really urgent question. Who is going to make the rules for this incredibly powerful new technology? Now, to understand the new laws being talked about, you need to know this term, frontier model. This isn't your average AI. This refers to the biggest, the most powerful, the most cutting-edge models out there, the ones that could pose some really serious risks if they're not handled carefully. And that's exactly what California is trying to get a handle on with its new law. It's forcing the developers of these huge frontier models to be open about their safety tests, to report security problems, and it even protects employees who blow the whistle. And if they don't comply, they could face million-dollar fines. It's one of the first real moves toward accountability. But this whole regulation thing gets way more complicated when you look at the global picture. Right now, a French startup is developing autonomous drones for military use. And while that's bringing in a lot of money and defense contracts, it's also kicking off some intense debates about the role of AI in war, a place where the rules are murky at best. So with all this money flying around, all this disruption, and all this debate, there's one massive question hanging over everything. Is this a real, sustainable revolution, or are we all just living inside a giant bubble that's about to pop? You know, Jeff Bezos had a really interesting take on this. He actually called the whole AI frenzy an industrial bubble. He thinks it will burst. But, and this is the key part, he argues that, just like the dot-com bubble, what's left after the crash will still deliver huge, game-changing benefits to society. And that really gets to the heart of the two main camps right now. You've got the believers who see the next industrial revolution and massive leaps in productivity. And then you have the skeptics who see a classic hype bubble, who think all this spending just isn't sustainable and that the payoff is a total question mark. Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Is this technology the foundation of our future? Or is it just the biggest, most expensive bubble we've ever seen getting ready to pop? The answer is probably going to define the next decade for all of us.